Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're here. We're in it.
Are we taping?
Yeah, it's going.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I gotta get comfortable, dude. That's the thing. I feel too comfortable, which makes me uncomfortable right now on the couch. I feel like
I feel like American couches are too big for me. They're like I need a smaller couch.
dude. I feel like yeah, you're right. We should have just done the table setup. I feel like a king. I feel like an Egyptian king where someone has to come in and feed me grapes in a minute. I don't know.
That's not a bad feeling.
I mean,
really.
it's yeah. You know what it is though? The problem is because now I'm comfortable for the pod. That it feels like my brain, like if I'm comfortable or like too, like it feels like I'm lazy, which means my brain is gonna be not as quick. My brain is gonna be lazy.
Yeah, I know what you're
Does
saying.
that make sense? I mean, your feet barely touch the ground.
Yeah, it's not a good. I always I don't like couches. I don't sit in my living room at my house ever.
No.
That's probably from a lot of childhood trauma, but
What does that mean?
dude, you didn't want to be in the living room in the open area of the house. It's
No.
where the madness could take place.
All right, do you want to elaborate on that?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, welcome back, everybody. Sea Otter Town Hall. We got a new episode back by popular demand. We got New York City comedian Kerrigan? No, Mike Kerrigan, my good friend. I can't speak today. I told you I woke up with like a head cold or something like that. Dude, I mean, I've been sick in 2 years. It's terrible.
Yeah, you're living a pretty bad life. You're getting colds in the summertime. You're not even working.
Is there anything worse than a summertime cold?
No, you do. I feel like a personal, like I feel like a loser. I'm like, how? It's your fault in the summer.
Dude, someone asked me to hang out like yesterday. I started getting this like my nose is running. I kept sneezing like yesterday morning. Someone asked me to hang out last night, and I was like, sorry, I have a cold. It just sounds like a lie. It's like in the middle of July. It sounds like I'm lying because I don't want to hang out with you. But like, nah, man, I got a cold. I'm sick.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. And when you sneeze on the train now, everybody hates you.
I mean, I would hold it in. I would swallow that sneeze.
Oh man, and sometimes I can't hold it back.
Are you masking up on the train now?
No, I never masked up.
Dude, I'll tell.
Corona.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna mask up now. I risked life and limb for months. Dude, every time I'd be on there, I'd be tense because you never know when it's coming.
Dude, you've been out of principle just for the entire year, just not masking up.
I think for one day I masked up, and then I looked up the masks. I'm like, because I kind of was suspicious. I knew those masks from working. I'm like, they don't work.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, you know what it is I'm vaccinated now, so I don't.
Kid, you just couldn't wait to tell the audience.
Yeah, I mean,
you're like, hey, I'm a good person.
No, listen. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not vaccinated. I obviously will get vaccinated because I believe in democracy and I want it to prosper. So that's why I got vaccinated.
We're gonna have a lot of follow-up questions on that one. But...
No, I believe in democracy and society, and if that's my part, I need to go out and get vaccinated so the government can trust me. That's what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to put something in my body that usually takes years and years to test, but they were like, hey, 6 months, let's get it in there.
Dude, it was an experiment. It says that on the thing. It's not even. They're like, this is a dangerous experiment. They don't tell you that. Someone told me they don't tell you that till you get in there. Because I know a guy and he bounced.
After that?
Yeah, he's obese, so he had to go. And when he's ready to do it. He's all about it. When he gets in there, they gave him the fine print. They're like, by the way, you might die immediately after you get the shot in. It's totally an experiment. So he ran away, but then eventually,
they went and got him. They dragged him back in.
Yeah, because he's huge, and that's a dangerous position.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you are, I'm not proud of it. I waited, obviously, because I'm a good person. I waited until they opened it up for my age bracket, but technically I could have gotten it for, my BMI, which muscles. It's because muscles weigh a lot. But
right.
It is technically my BMI allowed me to fall into the obese category, and that's an embarrassing thing. I don't want to go around when I'm vaccinated early And it's like, oh, are you a frontline worker? And I'm like, no, I'm just lazy.
Yeah, I'm just lazy.
I like
Shit.
yeah, how did you get vaccinated early? I like pizza too
Yeah,
much.
that is the key. I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm probably never gonna get it because I didn't get corona. That's my whole thing. I've been arguing with people about this for a while. They're like, you need to get vaccinated. I'm like, you're vaccinated, so you're covered. I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
But they still want. It's like the hurt. Everybody wants you to fit in. That's what I've noticed.
So essentially you're willing to risk
Oh yeah.
getting COVID, and you're okay with that.
Yeah,
Which,
absolutely.
to be honest, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with people who like don't want to get, because that's what people are like now. The whole thing what people are saying is like, well, if you're walking around with a mask, because this is now like at this point everybody's like, oh, the CDC's like you don't got to wear a mask if you're vaccinated, like you're not at risk, and like so many people have already gotten it, that all this stuff. But now like that when that cooled down, people are like, well, I wear a mask to protect other people who aren't vaccinated. And I was like, I mean, at this point, if you're not vaccinated, it's probably by choice.
Oh yeah, so, it's definitely by choice. And the reality
I'm
is,
okay with that.
You've been exposed to it thousands or more times by now,
Yeah.
so your chances of getting it are pretty slim. And I'd say most of us that aren't going to get it are like, well, we would get over it. Like, worst case scenario, my parents got it. They're 77. One of them's 77 or somewhere around there.
My aunt got it. She smokes like a pack and a half of cigarettes a day and drinks like 2 liters of Diet Coke. We were very nervous that she would, we were like, oh, if one person in our family, that we don't want to get it, it's her. She got it. She was the first one to get it. I mean,
she just cranked butts through the whole thing.
She was fine.
Yeah,
she was fine.
They say cigarettes help. That's another thing I didn't trust. I'm like, dude, who's writing this script for this? They're like, and a new study from Italy, it shows that cigarette smokers are. I'm like, dude, this isn't real.
It's literally a lung disease that, like, if you had asthma, it's gonna really affect you. But they're like, oh, you know what's better? Actually, fresh air hurts it. We want smoke, nicotine. What is that written by the tobacco industry?
Probably.
The tobacco lobby is writing this.
Probably.
I mean, I saw something today that was about the inequity of vaccines around the world, which.
What they're saying, like what the poor people don't get them?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody hates I feel like a lot of people who live in America hate America, but it really is. Like, I thought about it. It's like, well, what does the government do for us? And it's like, wow, they did make sure that we were the first people to get vaccines.
Yeah, and I think they started vaccines in the poor areas first this time.
I don't think so.
No?
No, dude. I read something today that said Canada has 10 vaccines per citizen, the most in the world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, they have 10 per citizen. So, like, say they have, I don't know how many, say they have 100 million people living in Canada. That means that they have 1 billion vaccines.
So what are they hoarding all these vaccines
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But other countries, there's, like, countries in Africa that the graph is, like, it's, like, 10.1 per citizen. And then you go all the way down to the bottom, and it's, like, 0.2 per citizen. So there's only 20% vaccines to cover 20% of the population. Whatever. But that was interesting. Well, that's a weird start. There was a really serious way to start the pod, but that's fine. I'm into it. Yeah.
Right, so what
I don't know. We just went on a real rant about.
Yeah, we really didn't get anything accomplished.
No. 8 minutes start talking about how we are anti-maskers. No, I've been on the subway now, and everybody, like, I feel like I get, like, some weird looks, but not. I've talked to people where, like, people wear masks, like, in the city, even though, like, they were like, hey, you don't have to wear one. I feel like people are just like, no, I want to because it makes me look a certain way.
Oh, that's what it's all about. Those masks are 98% ineffective.
Dude, I helped this like younger woman came up to me in the subway and was like, do you live here? Do you know, like, what subway, like, is this one? And had a question. She had her mask on and then, like, walked up to me, and, like, I didn't have it on, so she just took hers off. So I was like, well, you clearly don't have a concern about, like, wearing the mask. You're just, like, doing it.
No, it's all for show. It's all for show.
Which is my problem with it. That's At this point, it's like, if the government is saying it doesn't help and you don't need to do it, why are, like, you guy who didn't graduate high school telling me that, or had a theater degree from college telling me that, masks actually do help?
They don't, but I got it. I was arguing with a person at a show about something, And I was saying like, yeah, we don't really like, I don't really like Dr. Fauci, like, you know what I mean? I think he's all hyped up. And she was like, I was like, what? This lady's like screaming, she loves him. And I'm like, well, why do you like him? And she just goes, cause he's not Trump. And I'm like, listen, you brainwashed idiot. He's not even a politician. They don't even know. I don't even know that she knows if he's a doctor. She's just like, this is our God now. You do what Fauci says. You know what? A lot of this mask stuff is, it's all tied into Trump derangement syndrome.
It is interesting.
If Trump had came out hardcore mask,
I bet people would not be wearing masks right now.
Get those masks off now. And they'd come up with like an alternative, like liberal mask. But
that is a good point, because it feels like really is like that at the end, like Trump could never do anything that was ever going to be accepted by like half the population. So you're right. I think if he came out like real pro mask, like, guys, we got to mask up, to protect ourselves, people would be like, no, we need to protect the community at large. No masks.
Yeah, exactly. It would be all a herd immunity thing. Everybody, I feel like that's our society now. It's a lot of spite. Like, people try to pretend they're good people, but like their motivation, if you're like, really, what motivates you? It's spite.
Dude, that is, you know what? So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot. I hate these, and this is exactly, I mean, that's really at its core. That's what like cancel culture is. It's not, I'm doing this because you're a bad person. I think it's twofold. It's I'm doing this because if you're bad in the public's eyes, then I am better than you. And it's also like, if you don't have, then I will have. So I think it's like that, like a jealousy and a spite thing for like all these like celebrities and famous people who get canceled for saying like, and I'm not saying like, really bad stuff like Bill Cosby, should, proven innocent. He should be on tour.
Bill Cosby do?
Yeah, I mean, he's not guilty, so he should be back at Madison Square Garden. I mean,
I think he will be.
I'll be there. But like certain
he's banned
people
from the Comedy Cellar though, which I thought was funny. Like he was like on his way down there.
Dude, what a
strong stand they took.
Thank God, because if they didn't say that, I mean, I would assume that he would be there.
Yeah, right.
But I understand like certain people who do like certain terrible things, like if Ted Bundy's still alive, then like I don't think.
I'll be honest. If Ted Bundy was still alive, these women would date Ted Bundy. They'd line up for him. They'd spit on me to get to Ted Bundy.
Dude, I mean, if Ted Bundy was still alive, he'd for sure be doing stand-up comedy.
Now, you know what he'd be doing? He'd be driving an Uber, right? How many? It would just be a cakewalk. He'd be like, what?
Dude, he'd be trying to get booked. I'm sure he'd be like in politics or something. He'd be doing something.
Yeah, I mean,
because of that ego.
He wouldn't even ever get caught because those guys are. I mean, that's what they do anyway. He's just like a little overboard. They're all eating people, you know what I mean? You don't think Nancy Pelosi's bitten somebody's elbow? Look at that lady.
Wait, what?
You don't think she's eating a human being?
I mean, so there.
Hillary Clinton, I mean, look into her eyes. She's a monster. I love people who are like, Hillary's like a positive person. I'm like, if you could imagine, can't you? If there were slaves, Hillary would be the one who not only has slaves, but like just tortures them for no reason. Sets them up, like she puts like a coffee mug over and he walks by and knocks it over and she's just like, all right, you're dead.
I mean, there is a trail of dead bodies that do follow the Clintons.
Yeah, the suicide, the amount of suicides around them is unfriggin' believable.
I mean, it is wild.
Yeah. How many of your friends can jump out of 18-story buildings before you get suspicious? Like, when it gets above 10, you're like, I have 10 close buddies that have, jumped out of an 18-story window again.
He was, that is weird. It is strange.
I think the craziest conspiracy theorists right now are the people who think like the government is on the level. Like in the year 2021 to believe that with all the things we know, you know what I mean? Like, it's we got Hitler level propaganda on the trains. Have you seen like the stuff for the corona on the trains?
Yeah.
It shows like a guy with a mask half on and it's like not good, and then the other guy's almost there, and then they go perfect. Is two people sitting beside each other, not talking to each other. They're like, that's what they want. We are like no eye contact, no communication to each other. Yeah. Just read your book, and if you read the book, it's like government literature.
It's on the cover. It's just like, I love the government.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Yeah. It is. That is. Yeah, the level of division is definitely palpable. what did I see? Dude, you know what also is so funny? Like when people lump crazy conspiracies, like dude, Nancy Pelosi's Nancy Pelosi's husband, who's just like legit like investing in companies that have you seen this?
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
legit, they're both just insider trading.
Oh,
But
I mean, it's clear as day.
instead, people are like, nah, the Pelosi's eat children to keep their youth.
I think they're into both of it. To be honest with you, I think it's part of it.
Potentially.
But
But people lump like it's like, hey guys, we don't have to do like these crazy conspiracies to show that like these are bad people. They're doing bad things.
yeah, no, they should definitely. I mean, they're how much money? If you're a politician with $100 million, that's enough. I've
Dude,
heard
I
enough.
mean, bro, there should absolutely be term limits. Like, how do you Democrats and Republicans, like, how is Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, uh, what's the one from Kentucky, who's the Republican House?
Kennedy?
No, no. Why am I blanking? The
Not Rand Paul.
no. The speaker, the Republican speaker, like the Senate Minority Leader, whatever.
Oh, Mitch McConnell.
McConnell, like, dude, they've been in politics for 40 years.
Yeah,
How
and
do
they're
you
all
do that?
rich.
Yeah.
They're all filthy rich. They should be out of
Crazy.
it. They should
Yeah,
be
yeah,
out of
yeah.
it for sure.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. I have this argument with my like my parents, my other family, usually like people in their like 40s and 50s. I had this like argument in 60s where like I'm like, no, the government like might on like the whole big picture thing, like, do they have our best interest in mind? Potentially, but it's because it like serves the overarching goal of like something else, like their well-being. Like, I don't think like government officials and politicians care about anything other than more power and money for themselves. But if they can like say like we're going to help people to get more power and money, they'll help people.
Yeah, they help a little bit. They throw a little change, but they're like all these bills. They're getting all the money. Like if you look where all the money goes,
Yeah.
it's always supposed to be about helping the community. But then you look, none of us read these bills. There's thousands of pages.
Yeah,
I don't
crazy.
even know where you would read them, to be honest with you. Which I'm against all of it, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, this was a very serious and political way to start this episode, but
Yeah, with very little actual facts for anyone out there.
if you know anything about me, I check my facts. I'm very political. I read everything, and then no, I just that's the other thing is people like, including ourselves right now, can just say anything with a little bit of confidence, and people are like, yeah,
That's the way, dude. That's like AOC's whole platform. I'm not even sure if she can read. Like I haven't seen her read. She's good looking enough where she doesn't need to read, right? Nobody's gonna question her on it.
I mean, yeah, she's very attractive.
That's like the new thing.
Yeah, attractive politicians.
Well, I mean that's not new, I guess.
I mean, why do you think the Kennedys? They were great.
Yeah. Ted Kennedy, he was a great guy.
Yeah. Why? What did he do?
He took that girl for a swim they were in their car together, and then he was like, I got a bone out after this.
What was the story? What was he like, drunk and like?
Yeah, he like drove off a cliff and just abandoned the girl.
What is it? The Chappaquiddick, the lake or the river?
Yeah, I don't know, something.
So I think he drove into the lake and like, or into the river, and then he like left the scene because potentially it's theorized that he was drunk and didn't want to like.
Yeah, I mean, dude, anybody can drive into a lake drunk. That's not what I'm blaming the guy for. But he like didn't help the girl, and he didn't.
That's
I
not
don't think
the problem.
He reported it.
Yeah, I think because he was probably left and was going to sober up. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the whole thing that he left the scene.
Jesus.
I mean, I don't know if he could swim or I don't know what. It doesn't sound like he made a big effort to save her.
No, I don't think so. All right. Yeah, no. Listen. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't think he was a good politician either. Like his brothers were good, but they got shot in the head.
By the FBI. The FBI and the mob.
Yeah, I don't believe the mob had much to do with it. Maybe they used a couple goons. They were just hired. If they weren't the brains behind it.
Okay.
I love how they put the mob, like that's such a distraction technique. I feel.
It was the FBI, just the government. FBI, CIA.
Yeah, then maybe they used a couple of goons from the
work them in
the family or
somehow.
whatever.
Yeah.
They're just hired goons. You know what I mean? They're not the masterminds.
Okay. Interesting. Do you follow? Do you? Is that what's your like favorite? What's your favorite conspiracy?
I don't know if I like any of them, but
It's just horrible.
yeah, they're all horrible. I think if you like them, you're kind of a sicko. But
Have you heard this? Have you heard? I think we talked about this once, but it's like getting like more and more away from like myth where people are like legit. Every time someone puts a video out about it, someone's like, "Yeah, that's true. I've seen those." Where they're called like I think like skinwalkers or something. Have you heard this theory about the
yeah.
national parks?
Oh yeah, you got me into this.
Dude, so this theory is that there are these like human-like creatures that live in the cave systems under the United States of America, and that there's this huge like connected cave system that runs underneath all the mountains, like the Rocky Mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, like all these mountains are connected with this like very vast section of tunnels and caves, and that Teddy Roosevelt, this is the theory that Teddy Roosevelt like started the cave system or started the national parks to like hide the fact that there are these like predators, these like alpha predators that are like more like alpha than humans, but there are just like less of them. Started the national parks to either push them all into these like certain areas to like let them like live there, or to also have these like vast sections of land that they could send in like secret like SEAL team units that their job is to like hunt and eliminate these like predators.
I would say, if anything, if it's real, it's that they're breeding them things. They're in charge.
Do you think?
Yeah,
Well, probably
they're
capturing
more
them
protecting them than actually like.
trying to make them
'Cause
into
if
weapons.
they were really trying to kill them by now, they would have killed all
So this is the other. So this is do you know how like humans are? They're like you're born afraid of the dark and afraid of heights.
of
It's
them.
like it's like the only. So it's the theory that like humans are born with two fears. Every other fear is like learned, and it's the dark and heights because it's almost like those are the two things that are like in our DNA from years and years or thousands of years of like learned behavior, right? Or whatever, like nature
Okay.
has like evolution has taught us like to be, wary of the dark and this. But there's one other thing that humans are afraid of, and it's the theory that it's like things that like look human but aren't make us uncomfortable. So like dolls with like very realistic faces and like mannequins in the dark or like these things that almost look human but aren't. We kind of have this weariness and this like this sense of danger around, and that it's not like learned behavior. This is a theory, so I don't know if it's even true, but that's the theory, is that similar to heights and darkness, our fear of like human like creatures that look human but aren't is based in like an evolutionary trait that there used to be something that hunted us, and either it went into hiding or it like was able like we were able to like kill it off and it's now extinct
Yeah.
potentially.
But I mean, I think the park thing is some of it is they say that it's feral humans. So these are
Yeah.
basically a lot of them they say are inbreds.
Yeah.
So they're basically just but they are cannibalistic. And that's happened before. People don't want to talk about it. That's happened in modern day. Well, semi-modern. That happened in Scotland
Really?
with some renegade inbred tribe. What was I can't even remember the name. Like they knew their name. They knew they were out in like the middle of nowhere, and they would pretty much hunt people. There was like a clan of them.
Most dangerous game.
Yeah, dude, they would eat people, and that's not a joke. So it's not. It seems like something that hasn't taken place, but it has.
Damn. Yeah, I mean that's sounds super exciting. I mean, who wouldn't want to like live that way in the woods, just hunting and eating people? I mean, come on.
The only thing is you got to be eating something. I mean, how many people are you gonna? That's. I'm sure the people are like a bonus. You got to be eating something else.
Just bugs.
Yeah, bugs. No,
rabbits.
Rats. Yeah, rabbits. Something.
Dude, I mean that's too much. I couldn't do that.
I'd eat a rabbit. I'm gonna eat rabbit this summer.
Are you?
Yeah.
I would do that actually.
Yeah, there's a bunch of my parents. They're eating my dad's.
So you're gonna go?
No, I got a gun. I got a gun.
Do you?
Yeah, it's not a real. It's a pellet gun, but it looks.
Okay,
real.
I was gonna say. I mean, what was the process of I think that is a perfect example of the problem with our country's gun system. It's that they're just giving you guns.
Just me just walking in like, hey, I need a gun. She's like, no.
Just you walking in. I mean, Mike, you're a great guy, but you do give off a school shooter vibe.
I also generally, when I'm in a store, I'm usually like, some things will happen where I'm already angry. You know, like what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't find where the aisle is, so I come in. I'm like, where are the guns? I need come on, where are the friggin' guns?
And it's the guys in the store are like, you know what? Let's get this guy a gun. It's his right.
It's not as easy as people think to get.
It's everybody else in the store that's very nervous.
Yeah, but I'll eat a rabbit. Why not?
I sometimes think that this is a conspiracy that I have no idea to prove, no facts or anything, and I just thought of it right now. But I sometimes think that there are Democrats who are in the pockets of gun lobbies, that every now and then they bring up, hey, we're going to take your guns away, and it skyrockets gun sales. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I even think about it. I'm like, dude, I need to get an arsenal for some reason.
Dude, there's a Dick's Sporting Goods around here, and they have like a gun section in the back, in like the hunting area section. Dude, this whole summer after Biden got into office, for months, and also with Corona, so you have like a production stall, but also like a new president who's now a Democrat, and like all this whatever fear of losing your guns. Dude, they were sold out of bullets and guns. Like, dude, you would walk by. I remember I went in there a couple times, and just walking by, the shelves are usually lined with guns. Dude, nothing. It was like it looked like they were going out of business. That corner.
Yeah, and with all the rioting. Do you remember the rioting?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Isn't it crazy how quick we offered? If nobody talked about it for a while, I would forget in a year from now. I'd forget that Corona ever happened. I would forget that they'd be like, I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember those.
Dude, I saw a video this morning talking about January 2020. Do you remember the Australian fire?
No.
Dude, the Australian fire before COVID happened was like the worst thing that has ever happened in the history. Like, do you remember this? Like, people from all around the world were going to Australia. It was like millions of acres were burned down. It like killed like so many species of like animal, just like, and then the ones that survived had nothing to eat, like all these like little koala bears and shit.
Yeah, poor koalas.
Dude, I forgot. Like, and then Corona happened like a month later, and everyone was like, yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares, man.
No one cares.
Our
it's crazy.
Span is really small.
Yeah, it's because of the 24/7 news cycle, right?
Yeah, and I think like more bad stuff just kept happening. So it's like, if you notice, like if something really bad happened, but I come onto my like YouTube browser and it says 3 days ago, I'm like, dude, I don't even want to know what it was. Like,
I do look at that. I look at the timestamps. So like
3 days ago is over. I don't even care.
Yeah, I look at that all the time, and it's like, yeah, this really bad thing happened, or someone will tweet something, and it'll be like 4 days ago. I'm like, well, that's
it's over with.
Over with.
No one cares.
Yeah, it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
We're already at 30 minutes. Man, time flies when we're not talking about anything.
Yeah, this is all fluff.
It's a great, it's just fun hanging out.
Yeah, this is what people need. They don't want to hear actual like numbers.
Yeah, they don't want to hear comedy. They just want to hear speculation and ranting.
Yeah. Want to hear comedy, you got to come to a live show tonight at LOL Comedy Club.
You want to do your plugs?
Yeah, I'm on every show. I'll be there from 7:30 to 2 in the morning.
I mean, LOL Comedy Club, where dreams are made to happen.
Yeah.
Where dreams come true.
Dreams come true is right. Absolutely, man.
Oh, boy. I mean, that is, it is good, like, in terms, I don't want to slander the club that I'm hoping to work at one day, but in terms of, as a comedian, awesome. I would love to work there.
The market, everything has changed in the world, so there's too much censoring at other clubs.
Well, as a patron, if I was like recommending to someone to go see comedy, I mean, LOL would be like, I would be like, stay away, never go.
Back in the old days, maybe, but I think
it's better now.
Lineups are fine.
Okay, all right. I mean, you and Dom there. I mean, that's great.
There's a bunch of guys, and we're all going off. We're all out of control. There's no rules.
Real pro Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the only one that's pro Trump, but and it bothers people because he is going to be he's going to be the president again soon, and people like
2024.
Yeah, they're trying to forget that. I'm like, dude, he's going to be the president.
what do you think? I mean, how's that
I mean,
going to
he's
happen?
gonna blow them out of the water. It's not even gonna be close.
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
Dude, Biden is not. The guy is not impressive.
It's very it's funny how like even like some of like the most liberal people I know who like very quickly kind of, and they're not even willing to accept or admit it a lot of the time, but very quickly they're like, I mean, it went from this vitriol hatred of Trump to like, yeah, I mean, he was kind of crass, but yeah, that whole Israel Palestine thing was not happening. That would not happen with Trump in office.
No, a lot of stuff if wouldn't have been. But the economy, see, if it wasn't for Corona, no one had ever lost in Trump's position.
No, I mean the
When you have the
economy
economy booming, he had the most votes in the last one that he lost, supposedly. He had the most votes of anyone of all time, except for Joe Biden. Because I bring it up to liberals all the time, like, Joe Biden's the most popular president by votes ever, and they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, because he cheated. Look at the guy.
It is
giving a speech.
It is interesting. It is weird. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that like because of COVID, like people did not have anything else going on. Like people are just at home. They're not like doing anything else. So like, I mean, I guess like if you can't go out, you're not working. Like why not just go vote? So I guess that's the only argument you can really make is that that's why so many more people voted.
Yeah, but I just don't believe.
And that people's like, I think that a hatred of something is a bigger motivator than a love of something too. So I think like the fact that so many people hated Trump so like passionately could cause them to go and do things like going out and voting and that whole thing.
10 times.
It is. I mean, yeah.
Just busting
it is funny, bro. I did see an interview with Trump where after when they were like, what was different about the 2020 election than the 2016 election? He goes, I mean, in 2020 we got a ton more votes. I was like, what a hilarious thing to say.
He's one of the funniest politicians I've ever seen. I don't think he's trying to be funny a lot of the times, just the way he talks. Like he says outrageous stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I would love to go to a barbecue and Trump was there. I mean, like just the stuff he would say. I actually think Biden would be funny too, but like in a different way.
It'd be like
he's like
sad.
hitting on your mom like in front of one of those guys who doesn't. You're like he goes way over the line. You're like Dad would be grilling him for like, did he just grab my wife's ass? Like he definitely like touches your friend. He's like a guy who like touches your friend's wife.
Yeah, I mean at this point I don't think he knows what's going on.
No, he's all doped up, but what can you do?
I mean that's so funny. So you really think that Trump's going to win in 2024?
Oh, it's going to blow him out.
I don't even think he's going to run, to be honest.
Oh, he's running.
That's the thing. I mean, is Biden going to run again?
I don't mean to be funny about this, but I don't think he can. I don't think he's going to make it that far. No. I mean, I don't think he's going to die, but dude, if you see him giving a speech,
bro. I mean, after he won, do you remember when he ran out? When he ran out on the stage?
Oh yeah, and he was on
and it was
maximum dose of steroids possible.
Dude, I was like, holy shit, is this guy gonna fall and die? Like literally before he's even sworn into office.
They probably injected him with liquid methamphetamines, like the Hitler soldiers.
Amphetamines?
Yeah, amphetamines.
That's amphetamines?
Oh, is that how you say it?
Yeah, I mean it's.
Sorry, I'm not a drug addict like you.
Speaking of drug addicts, what's going on in your housing situation?
Oh, crack pipe is gone. He's out.
He left. I do know that because I looked at the room.
Oh yeah, I was
gonna move in. I decided not to.
That was an interesting confrontation.
Yeah, can you tell me about how did this whole like removing him? If anyone is curious about why this guy had to leave the apartment, just go listen to like 3 episodes ago. Mike goes into great detail about what this guy was doing in the apartment, smoking crack, boiling urine, a lot of like normal roommate activities.
Bringing in the homeless.
Yeah, a lot of normal things that Mike was a little sensitive about. So. And
I was the least sensitive as the other guys because he really didn't like them a lot.
Yeah, he liked it.
I was like the guy he opened up to, which I didn't want to hear. So like this is what the last straw was.
Yeah.
Saturday night or something, he's on a bender, a crack bender. And he always tells me these things. He'll come out of the bathroom like sweating. He's like, dude, don't tell. And he's always like, don't tell anyone. Like no one knows. He's like, I'm high on crack right now. and he's telling me all this crazy stuff. So you can't. That's not the time to confront them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on the crack. So
what crazy stuff is he telling you?
Just like it's actually funny how he walks around. He's like, I'm down in Times Square the other day. I'm doing one of my rants. Like, it's almost like me be like, yeah, I was out doing comedy shows. He was doing his rants. And he's like, I'm screaming about being a Marine and all this.
Yeah.
And, it's not fair. And I'm like, dude, are you a Marine? He's like, nah. But whatever.
I love how this guy is just, he's maybe the worst person that you've ever described, that someone's ever described to me. But with you, he just feels like he could be vulnerable.
Yeah,
and
he's always
honest.
telling me his stuff. So he's ranting and raving, and he's trying to do whatever. And then it comes down, he's like, oh, and by the way, if anyone ever calls the cops on me that lives here, I'm going to kill everyone here. And he didn't, they had already called the cops the week before, but he just wasn't there, so he didn't know. So in my head, I'm like, well, I can't bring it up right now. Like, hey, by the way, they already did. So the next day when he was not on crack, the landlord came in, or whatever, he sobered up a little, and I confronted him on it. And he's like, well, why do I gotta go? And I'm like, well, he started listing like everything you do. And he's like, I'm like, you threatened to kill everyone in the apartment. And he goes, dude, I didn't threaten to kill everybody. He was basically like 2 out of 3 isn't bad.
Holy shit. So that's literally.
Yeah, so the threatened to kill. So then he was like not going to leave. He's like, I'm going to get my lawyer. But he had so much drugs on him at all times. We're just like, just go. Or I'll call, because you're not going to, he's not slick. So he had crack in the room. He had all this other stuff. And we got him out that day.
Oh my God. Well, how did he like get all his belongings?
He didn't. Most of it he left. Like bags and bags of stuff.
Holy shit. And he's just never come back.
No, he came back for like a couple of weeks, like every couple of days, and he'd just be screaming out front. And I don't know what he wanted. I can't remember.
Probably his home.
No, because all the stuff he left was like garbage. But he did leave a. He was like, "Will you buy my TV off me?" And I'm like, "I don't watch TV. I just gave him $10." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I don't want your TV, but here's $10." And I'm glad because then the landlord tried to use the TV. It was totally fried. So
holy shit.
He just sold me
a broken television.
Yeah, but at this point, I was just like, just take.
So is this guy officially now? Does he have a new place of residence, or is he like officially a bridge? Like, is he like legit living under the bridge now?
No, he probably, dude. Once these people they just get girlfriends and they like mooch off them for a while.
That's so funny. I mean, yeah, I can't imagine. I feel like some comic did a joke about this, but I don't even remember who. But like, dude, I used to get so depressed when I see like homeless people who are in relationships and like they seem so in love.
Yeah, they never break up.
What am I? What's going on?
Yeah, see, dude, poverty's the key. It sticks you together.
I see like drug addicts who are just like sleeping next to each other on a sidewalk, and I'm like, they seem so happy.
They do. They never break up. I mean, once you're in that racket, it's like there's not a lot of options.
Yeah, you're not,
Maybe that's the key to it.
It might be.
Too many options can be a problem.
It might be. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's hilarious. So he just picked up and left.
But dude, it wasn't voluntary. We were like,
this is all three of you
and
the landlord.
He's like, come on, man, come on. Yeah, I just need a couple. I need to get my, I'm getting a job. Everything that's like not gonna happen.
What are the jobs that he has said that he's gotten?
No, well, he had a job. He was just doing like painting and construction.
Yeah.
But like then, so anyway, he got fired from the first one when he first relapsed. But then he got like 2 more jobs. But dude, he rolled up with drinking tall boys.
You told me this, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, and his story's like, can you believe they fired me? I'm like, how do you not? What do you mean? Can I believe it? You rolled up drinking at work on drugs first day. Like not brown bagging it, just like opened cans.
It's what gets him up in the morning.
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean, that's crazy. That's wild. So now you're looking for another roommate.
Yeah, I think we got a comedian coming in.
That's good.
Then the other room is open, so we'll be getting another guy.
That's good. Yeah, you go for comics who are normal.
Yeah, that's a real oxymoron right there. How many normal comics do you know?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'll tell you this. When I started doing comedy, after doing comedy for like 5 years, I looked around and I realized I was like, bro, it's so weird. I know more people. I'm a lawyer, and I know more people who live in their cars than own their own homes.
Oh yeah, I know a bunch of guys for sure.
That's correct. I never thought that at a point in my life that the people I'd be associating with were living in cars by choice.
Yeah, now that you
Like,
mention
I
it,
guess.
it's not something that I'd like to. You should know less. The older you get, you should know less
It's
people living in their cars, but it's like more.
it is. I mean, it's renters, people who live in their cars, people who own their own homes.
Yeah, and in New York, like sometimes I'm like, I think about it. I'm like, you wouldn't be paying rent.
I feel like I have like less than 10 friends who own their own homes, and I could list like at least 15 people who I know, even like loosely, who live in their cars.
Yeah, I don't even now that you mention, I don't. I guess some of my old buddies, not in the comedy realm, but I guess a couple of them.
Oh yeah, no comedians
No,
own their own.
forget about
Any, I don't think I could name one comedian that I'm friends with who owns their own home.
it. I don't even. I guess we're lucky to make rent, most of the guys I know.
Yeah.
It's a month to month.
Yeah. Where are we at? All right, you want to end this one?
Yeah, let's end it.
I thought. How do you feel? You feel good?
I feel good. Take a little breather here.
Yeah, take a breather. We'll do another.
Sounds good.
Change our clothes so it looks like we're doing them, but it's not gonna.
All right, well, you're gonna have to edit this part.
Well, it's not gonna do anything. I'm still sick. I'll probably bring it up on the next one anyway.
Dude, you'd be surprised. I probably won't even be able to tell.
That's okay. All right. Well, you want to do any plugs? You want to say anything? Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, Mike T. Kerrigan on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna start posting my shows up there. And yeah, that's it.
Very funny comedian. So follow him. See him most of the time at LOL.
LOL.
In New York City if you're there. And you can follow me at Dylan Krasinski on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Sea Otter Town Hall. The podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Every Thursday this drops. Almost every Thursday. Whenever I can sit down with someone else. And yeah. So give us a follow and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Later.